Yo, so I'd like to tell you a story. Um, Story about me. I'm 19 years old, right? I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I am preparing to buy an oil change business with some other guys. I worked as an oil change technician since I was 14 years old, and now I want to buy a business. I want to own my own business. So I'm working like 16 hours a day, working hard, trying to get up enough money to buy this business. Now, I lived in this apartment complex. It wasn't the most sketchy complex, but it wasn't the best complex either. I didn't have any. I was saving every dollar I had. So my apartment complex was it wasn't that complex. Let me just say that. But across the hall from me was some people who they didn't look like me, but it was pretty clear to me that they was selling some drugs. In fact, there had been a gas company truck parked outside of in our apartment parking area for a few weeks, but we didn't have gas at all in the apartment. Everything was electric. So I thought that was a little suspicious. And knowing that they were selling drugs or whatever, but I didn't care. I didn't have anything to do with that stuff. I just want to be a business owner at this point. And I remember going to work. I'd work 16 hours. I'm on my way home. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. And as I come around the corner, I noticed that the dome light inside of that truck was on. And when I bent the corner, it turned off real fast. But listen, I know what this means because I've been in this kind of scenario before. This means that place has probably been raided. And then I also see a bunch of people or legs jumping behind trees and in cars, and suddenly it's quiet. So I know what this is. I know exactly what is going on. It's probably been a bust of some sort. So I park like I normally would because I know I can't just drive off because they're going to fall. I don't know what's going to happen. So I stopped the car. I put it in park. I rolled the window down and I put both hands out the window. It's completely dark outside right now. You don't see anybody, like nobody's around, like nobody. I stick both my hands out of the window and I say, listen, officers, I want you guys to know I don't have anything to do with why you're here. I just got off work and I'm exhausted, I'm tired, and I'm just going to my apartment. Please understand that. I stick both my hands out the window and I got both hands out the window and I slowly open the door. I hear nothing. Nobody responds. It is completely quiet. It is actually too quiet. So I go ahead and I get out of the vehicle and I get out real slow with both my hands still in the air. And as soon as the door closes, 15, maybe 17 police officers come rushing at me. Now I'm afraid, and they're yelling, put your hands up, put your hands up. My hands are already up and they're being extremely aggressive. And here's the thing though, I understand this because they just did a drug bust. Somebody else is driving up. They gotta check me out and see who I am. I fully get that. Like that's probably protocol. And then they asked me for my ID, and I didn't have my ID on me. I left it in the counter, over the stove in my apartment. And I explained to him, hey man, I just don't have it. I was in a rush to get out today. But I don't have anything to do with these drugs. I have nothing to do with those guys. And now aggressively, and there's one police officer in particular who, let's just say, wasn't, he just seemed to not like me extra for whatever reason. And so they're walking me up to my apartment. Like every single step I take, they're taking steps right along with me. And I said, listen, as soon as I use this key to open the apartment, that'll prove to you that I live here and I don't have anything to do with them. And then we'll just go inside. Now keep in mind, I ain't had no money. I got a air conditioner and a mattress on the floor in my apartment. That's all I got. It kind of looked like a crack house. I'm gonna throw that out there. Like it wasn't the best looking scenario. But regardless, when I open my key, that means I have nothing to do with them. I twist the key in my heart and I just take a sigh like, oh, this thing is over. I walk in, the officers bust their way in too. They're demanding to see my identification. And I tell them my ID is over the stove. But I'm not moving because I know if I make any sudden movements, I don't know. I'm pretty afraid at this point. So I walk over to the stove area, super slow. And I explained to him, I'm talking him through what it is I'm going to do. And instinctively, I noticed from growing up that this is what needs to happen. I say, so I'm about to lift up my right hand. I'm reaching into the cabinet. I'm pulling the cabinet door open. Literally, I was walking him through step by step by step. And I reach into the cabinet and I say, nah, I feel the wallet. I'm about to pull the wallet out. As soon as I say that, that cop, the one I told you about, he takes his gun, puts it to the back of my head right here, and cocks the hammer back. And I'm so afraid and angry and hurt because he could end my life right now and they can come up with some sort of story and nobody ever knows who Michael Jr. is. Just like that. So, I reach, I hold my wallet out like this, and they check my ID. That officer takes his gun off my head, and he leaves. The other officers stick around, and really just trying to make sure I'm not going to complain or call anybody. But who was I going to call? Like, really, who was I going to call? And then they leave. And then I remember sitting on the floor, hurt, in serious pain, and just angry for probably 30 minutes. Then there's a knock on the door, and the door busts open, and it's the lady from across the hall whose boyfriend or husband has just been taken away for selling drugs. And she's unconsolable. She's crying and screaming. They took everything, and she's speaking like broken English. I don't understand exactly. She's got these 2 little kids with her, and she is in pain, hurt, afraid. She doesn't know what to do. And I'm listening to her, and I'm thinking, well, you probably should pick a better boyfriend. That's what I'm thinking. But like, she's the reason this just happened to me. But instead, I just listened to her. And even though I couldn't understand everything she was saying, because our pain matched, the communication was way more clear than it should have been. So I reached into my wallet, and I had like $14 in change, and I gave her all of the money I had. And she was so grateful. She gathered her kids, and they gave me like a hug, and then they left, and she was still kind of crying. But I always thought that her coming to ask for that money was me giving to her, but she actually gave me a gift that's way greater. In that moment, when I was so hurt, when I was in so much pain, I was able to see somebody else's pain, and then I found an opportunity where she gave me an opportunity to give to her. I can't tell you what that did for me. Immediately, the pain and the hurt started to subside. Immediately, the pain started to go away, even though I couldn't articulate it in the moment. I should say the anger started to go away. I was still hurt. I was super hurt. But I know that lady gave me a gift that I needed right at that moment. And because of that, I've been able to forgive that officer. Like, I never had a conversation with him, but I don't hold any anger towards him at all, or any officers. Listen, I love people. Like, I love people. And if you have on a uniform, that doesn't mean you're not a person. I love people. But I also know that if we really want to be healed, like if there's a lot of us hurting right now, but I'm telling you, the thing to do is to look for the person next to you who's hurting as well and ask the question, what can I give? If you simply can ask, what can I give? There's healing in that, because the people around you need you right now. They need you to be willing to give, whether it be financially, whether it be understanding, whether it just be a hug, whether it be just to listen. And when you give in such a way, it's going to bring healing to you. The anger, the pain, the hurt will start to subside. That's where the healing takes place. I'm telling you, we need to ask the question, what can I do for someone else? I appreciate you. I love you. Michael Jr.